weapons of mass destruction can no longer be looked away from and ignored.
Osama bin Laden links his terrorist network to Iraq. War hasn't begun yet, but these little letter writers are already busy sending wishes to our troops overseas.
This is WVLT-TV, Knoxville. Right now, WVLT Volunteer TV News Night Watch is taking action for you.
And welcome to East Tennessee's only non-stop 15 minutes of news and weather. As always, Craig Edwards gives us our no-wait forecast.
Right, Bob. We still have some snowflakes showing up on pinpoint 8 Doppler radar. Way to the north in Kentucky. And the highlighted counties you see there, a wind warning in effect for tonight. Wind advisory has been issued by the National Weather Service. That's because we are expecting gusts of wind up to and maybe exceeding 45 miles an hour in the highest elevations of Blount, Cocke, and Sevier counties. So your wake-up weather is going to call for mostly cloudy skies, a low of 30 degrees, and rather breezy conditions out there as the night wears on, although the highest winds, once again, will be up in the highest elevations. 35 degrees in London right now with clear skies, 38 degrees in Crossville, 40 in Chattanooga as well as Knoxville, 38 degrees over in the Tri-Cities, 42 in Nashville right now, and into the 30s over western Kentucky. Our satellite and radar shows that we do have some cloud cover making its way through, primarily up to the north. That's where we're getting some snow, but it looks like as the night goes on, some of those clouds are coming our way too. So our forecast will call for a low of 30 degrees tonight. Tomorrow's high, 45. That is after we start the day with plenty of clouds around, a bit of sunshine in the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies Thursday too, but by Thursday night, a chance of rain. That chance of rain looks like it'll linger through the weekend. I'll have details about the weekend outlook and your 8-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Craig. Believe it or not, still a few school closings and delays. McCreary County, Kentucky schools closed. Cumberland County schools on a 2-hour delay. Scott County schools running on a 1-hour delay. A stretch of Asheville Highway has reopened now after a wreck tonight shuts down a portion of the road and threatened to cause the evacuation of nearby homes. It happened on East Magnolia in East Knoxville. Police say a car hit another. One of the vehicles ended up splitting an above-ground natural gas line, but crews were able to cap it. 2 people were taken to the hospital with injuries linked to the crash. A Knoxville woman killed in a wreck that shut down Interstate 75 for nearly 3 hours in southernmost Kentucky today. 55-year-old Sheila Perkins lost control of her vehicle on an icy bridge, collided with 3 other vehicles. I-75 in Laurel and Whitley counties was closed most of the morning. A 16-year-old William Blount High School student in custody tonight after he brought a loaded gun to school. WVLT Volunteer TV's Chloe Maroney with an update, new at 11.
Law enforcement officials say quick thinking by some William Blount High School students may have averted a tragedy.
Kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know why you would bring it to school. I mean, what are you going to use? What are you going to do with it?
A scary day at school for freshman Kyle Kennedy, and his parents can't believe what happened.
You think about, the other schools that's had this, and you just don't want anything like that to happen. You wouldn't think it would happen here in Blount County.
Oh, I suppose with a lot of mums, we get scared of, stuff like this going on. But I hear it a lot on the news, but I'm just glad he's safe.
School officials say some William Blount students heard a 16-year-old boy talking about having a gun at school this afternoon. Those students immediately told the principal and described the student, a move officials say may have averted tragedy.
It is definitely a preventive effort, and that's what we need to do here at the school site with all of our students.
They probably saw the news in the past and realized that this could really get out of hand, and they needed to do something, and I'm glad they did. That's what everybody should do.
School resource officers put the crisis plan into action.
We had a lockdown during 3rd block, so I asked one of my friends if it was just like a warning or something like that. And he said, no, this is serious.
While on lockdown, 10 other officers were called in to find the weapon and the student.
After the investigation, talking to different witnesses, people had heard and seen things, they were able to narrow down a suspect.
Officers took the teen into custody. They say he admitted to bringing the loaded .22 caliber handgun to school and told them it was hidden in the ceiling tiles of the boys' bathroom. Charges will be filed in juvenile court sometime tonight, and no one was injured, and there's still no word yet on why the teen brought the gun to school, Bob.
Thanks, Chloe. Other top stories on the Night Watch. More information concerning Osama bin Laden's reported message to Iraqis, and the state meets with Burnett Creek residents over their water problems. New Orleans beefs up security as Mardi Gras approaches. Sea lions help fight the war on terrorism as we go around the world in 90 seconds. 20 days and counting to the big week. Down in the Big Easy, New Orleans police beef up security for Mardi Gras. Despite a threat of terrorism, it still appears record crowds are planning to party along Bourbon Street. Officials admit if there is a significant threat of a terrorist strike in the city or a war with Iraq, some parades and festivities may be canceled. Top intelligence sources say count on more terrorist strikes in the U.S. and abroad. At London's Heathrow Airport, tanks and more than 400 soldiers showing their presence as officials are investigating a report of a suspicious boat in San Francisco Harbor. The Coast Guard steps up patrols there. U.S. officials again warn Al-Qaeda is plotting multiple attacks.
The information we have points to plots aimed at targets on two fronts, in the United States and on the Arabian Peninsula.
Officials are now warning owners of high-rise buildings to secure heating and cooling systems against possible biological or chemical agents. At least 14 pilgrims die in a stampede during a stoning ritual on the first day of Eid al-Adha. Nearly 2 million Muslims are flocking to Mena Valley near the holy city of Mecca to throw stones at a pillar which symbolizes the devil. The next several days, Muslims will be celebrating the Feast of Sacrifice, one which has put our nation on a high state of terror alert. 2 sea lions are helping fight the war against terrorism in the Middle East. In the waters off Bahrain for the first time, these mammals are being trained to protect U.S. Navy assets in the Persian Gulf. 4 trainers put the sea lions through drills, jumping into the water, climbing back into the boat. Their goal is looking for underwater hazards which may present risks to our fleet. And apparently alive, Osama bin Laden calls on Muslims everywhere to help defend Iraq against all Americans and all allies. Also new at 11 tonight, Drew Levinson with an update from Kuwait City.
A familiar voice delivering a familiar message reappeared on the Arabic news network Al Jazeera. The audio tape, purportedly of Osama bin Laden, not only addressed the world's Muslims, it spoke directly to the Iraqi people, urging them to attack Americans.
Do not worry about America. Do not fear America. Do not worry about their bombs and their laser-guided bombs.
Secretary of State Colin Powell became aware of the tape before it aired. He told a Senate panel the remarks show why nations need to be concerned about Iraqi ties to terrorism.
This nexus between terrorists and states that are developing weapons of mass destruction can no longer be looked away from and ignored.
But top U.S. allies say there's no clear-cut evidence linking al-Qaeda to Saddam Hussein, at least not enough to wage war, and that is causing a greater rift within NATO. Member nations France, Germany, and Belgium are still refusing to back a U.S.-led plan to protect Turkey if Iraq attacks. But the bickering has not stopped the U.S. war machine. American troops continue to flow in daily here to Kuwait, and with them comes the vital equipment they'll need to fight. A lot of that equipment is being shipped to a newly built logistics camp south of Kuwait, where hardware meets personnel.
We can have an entire division issued in 15 days and completely out and supplied and ready. I'm talking completely up and ready to go.
The state-of-the-art camp also allows the troops to enjoy some of the comforts of home they rarely get in the desert while waiting for this conflict to unfold. Drew Levinson, CBS News, Kuwait.
Iraqi natives now in Knoxville remember too well Operation Desert Storm. Araja Hermes and her family lived in the Middle East during the Persian Gulf War. Hermes says her family hid in a hallway during the bombings.
I feel sorry, yeah, because I was there in '91 and I see the people how was tired, and it was the difficult days for all the people, especially the poor ones, who they get their food day by day.
Hermes says she and her family pray for peace daily. The government is asking people to store bottled water and several days' worth of food and plastic sheets in case of a biological or chemical attack. Those suggestions after last week's terror alert status was raised to the high level, indicating a greater chance of domestic terrorism. The sheets would be used to seal off a portion of the home against any deadly chemical element. With war looming, students in one Ohio school are trying to stay connected with graduates who are preparing to fight a war for all of us left behind. Paul Orlowski now explains.
The best thing to do is just copy it the way their parents have it here.
A unique kind of learning is going on in this Harvey High School classroom in Painesville. War, up close and personal.
I got an email from him.
Those faces on the wall are more than just former students.
A year ago today, some of those people who are now in the military were in the school here.
In this room.
So, right, exactly. So it's hitting very close to home.
As they write and address letters to soldiers preparing for war, it's amazing how many connections to conflict exist in these young lives. Tony Brewer's view is shaped by his dad and granddad, who both served.
War is a bad thing. It could be a lonely time, it could be a bad time.
It does seem a little weird because I can remember when they were here and I was talking to them, and now they're away.
Ashley Martin thinks of the warriors' families, as she writes. Ryan Wenger will become a Marine after graduation. His perspective on the letter writing is unique.
That would actually really help, because then I would actually remember exactly what I'm fighting for, instead of sitting there and going, oh, am I going to get shot today?
I just want to let everybody know that we're thinking about them and that we hope that everything works out for the best for them.
There is a tendency among any of us to think of military activities as being carried out by nameless, faceless soldiers and sailors thousands of miles away. Students here are now able to put names with those faces. They are all of our family, friends, and former classmates. At Painesville Harvey High School, Paul Orlowski, Action News.
5 citizens who saved lives are honored in Alcoa tonight. Proclamations were presented to the individuals who came to the rescue in 2 separate highway accidents. 3 of the people rescued 2 women from a burning car. 2 rescued a trucker from his rig. All were happy to do their duty.
It's just something that needs to be done. If you don't help people that need to be helped, then there really isn't much character in you.
Mr. Furr, we're all proud of you and all the other heroes. South Knox Countyans who faced poisoned water since the Coster Shop dumping a year ago are now making some progress. A water line is in the works. The Director of Solid Waste Management for the state says the project should be finished by October. In the meantime,
we found some bacterial contamination that we want to make sure that they're not affected by. And so basically, we're just trying to make sure that they have a safe drinking water supply.
I think the state is really working with us on this thing now, and as long as we can work together on this, we want to solve the solution.
For now, some of the folks are using bottled water. A joint House-Senate committee in Nashville approves a lottery implementation bill. The recommendation now moves into other committees in both the state, House, and Senate. The bill creates a Tennessee Education Lottery Corporation to be overseen by a board of directors. Some Tennessee lawmakers say a state lottery could be in place by the end of this year. Meanwhile, Kentucky's Senate passes a bill protecting the lives of the unborn today. If approved by the House, which is unlikely, the bill would create a crime called fetal homicide. It would declare a fetus to be a person starting at the moment of fertilization. The vote comes on a day when anti-abortion activists rallied outside Kentucky's capital. Tuesday means more high school hoops action. The Vols get ready to take on the Hogs in Arkansas. Rick Russo previews tonight's Sports Overtime.
Well, Bob, the Lady Vols got all they could handle tonight down at the arena. Hi, everyone. We'll have highlights of Tennessee's hard-fought win over TCU. We'll also have your high school hardwood highlights. And we'll take you down to Daytona for the first big wreck of Speed Week. And finally, the state of Tennessee will be home to the first women's coach of a Division I college basketball men's program. And no, it isn't Pat. We'll tell you who it is next in Sports Overtime after the Night Watch.
Our viewers have found only 3 places where we can get gas under $1.50. Sam's Club members are paying $1.46. The Ingalls and Racetrack on Oak Ridge Highway, 2 cents higher. If you find a lower gas price, call us at 656-TV4U or email us at pumppricer@WVLT-TV.com. Comfort food for prisoners. Officials out west think it's only fair to offer the perk every once in a while from the outside. And your 8-day forecast includes warmer temperatures, maybe not so much wind, but some rain.
Tonight on an all-new Late Show, Dave's got Judging Amy star Amy Brenneman and music from Vince Gill. And later this month, don't miss Kevin Spacey, Steve Martin, and Dr. Phil.
Boom, 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 boom. Turning raw metal into pure gold isn't easy, unless it's a durable, long-lasting Chevy truck. Get at least $2,500 cash back or 0% APR on every 2003 Chevy pickup and SUV. Or choose $4,000 cash back on a 2003 Chevy Avalanche. That's 0 APR on America's best-selling full-size trucks. It's a new gold rush. Stake your claim. Get 0 APR or $4,000 cash back on Chevy Avalanche at your local Chevy dealer.
Valentine's Day is upon us. Fortunately, your neighborhood Kroger is here to help.
Surprise your Valentine with a dozen roses. Assorted colors start at just $28.99 and up. Or how about cooking a favorite meal? Tyson boneless, skinless chicken breasts are only $1.79 a pound. And whole boneless beef ribeye is just $3.99 a pound. So remember, Valentine's Day is upon us. And Kroger has everything you need to make the day one to remember. You can count on it.
A warm-up and a chance of rain, both in the 8-day forecast in less than 60 seconds.
Hey, we gotta get going. I'll put the hors d'oeuvres in the car. Just grab my brother's gift, okay? You forgot my brother's gift.
No, I didn't forget. It said, Circuit City. We're gonna pick it up on the way. Forget. I didn't forget.
You forgot. That's why with Express Pickup, you can order gifts online and pick up within minutes. It's that fast. Circuit City, we're with you.
Wow, that was fast.
I have no idea.
What?
Cadillac. Breakthrough. Current Cadillac owners or smart lease lessees can lease a new 2003 DeVille for about $4.99 a month at your Cadillac dealer.
Now, East Tennessee's most dependable forecast from the WVLT Skywatch 8 weather team, featuring Pinpoint 8 Doppler radar, the most powerful Doppler radar on Earth.
Well, once again, it does look like the clouds will be moving on into the area as the night goes on. They're yet to arrive, and so temperatures are dropping a bit more, too. Down to 38 degrees, our current reading. That's not too bad for this time of the evening. Humidity is at 73%. The pressure is rising. Winds are from the southwest at 9 miles an hour. That makes it feel like 31, so it's a bit nippy out there. As the night goes on, looks like we'll bottom out pretty close to 30 degrees with the clouds moving in. High temperature for today made it up to 52. Low this morning at 25. 51 and 31 are normal this time of the year. 76 and 1 are our records, and no rainfall for today. It looks like tomorrow will be relatively dry too, but after that, that chance of rain is going to be back into the forecast. We have a front that's making its way southward. This will come on through the area for tonight. It'll move through quickly with high pressure coming in behind it. This is very dry, and so it's going to really push the clouds out of the way too. Temperatures for tonight will drop down to about 30 degrees here in Knoxville, the 20s off to the north. And for tomorrow, we'll warm back into the 40s with the 30s off to the northeast. It looks like that warming trend, by the way, is going to hang around for a while. Here's your forecast for the plateau for tonight. In Crab Orchard and Cumberland County, we'll drop to about 27 degrees. Some gusty winds up there from the west and northwest around 25 miles an hour. Heading down into the valley, breezy as well. The clouds will be moving in late tonight, early tomorrow morning in Sweetwater and Monroe County, down to around 29 for the overnight low. And as we head into the higher elevations, once again, a wind advisory remains in effect for Cocke County, Blount County, and Sevier County. Gatlinburg will drop to 23 degrees, and some of those wind gusts will be in excess of 45 miles an hour. For tonight, becoming cloudy, the overnight low will drop to 30. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, but sunshine in the afternoon. Tomorrow's high at 45 degrees, and here's your 8-day forecast. It does look like temperatures will warm into the 50s and hang around there for a while, although there's a good chance of rain coming in Thursday night into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Low temperatures will be in the 40s and the 30s, and then it looks like we'll see partly cloudy skies early next week with highs in the 50s. How's that, Bob?
I'm adding this up, and we're getting toward the end of February here. Do you think maybe
Just maybe.
We're almost...
Just maybe. We can put away the snow shovel for a while, get out the umbrella for a little while.
Time to plant the mater soon, huh?
Yeah,
Get the
that's a
seeds
good
in.
point.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, how about pizza in prison? What do you think? How about, as a perk to the incarcerated, the Washington State Department of Corrections has begun offering their lovable murderers, rapists, and drug dealers some comfort foods from the outside world. Prisoners can even now pick their toppings from a slightly limited selection. There's no tipping allowed, and, well, Domino's doesn't deliver all the way to the cell, but you can get pizza in prison if you happen to be incarcerated in the state of Washington.
I did not know that.
And not too happy about it either. Lady Vols action. And the Vols are prepping for a big SEC contest. They got high school hoops and the latest from Speed Week. Sports Overtime crew scrambling.
big calendar, because Dollywood's gonna really fill it up.
Enjoy 9 months of festivals, premieres, special events, and now the South's biggest kids fest all summer long, starring VeggieTales, Garfield, and extreme sports.
As I said, it's a calendar full.
With a Dollywood season pass, you get the whole 9 months for less than the price of 2 days. Order now and you'll also get this area discount book free. Just call, click, or look for the Dollywood order form in your mail.
Make a wish, Ma.
Oh, let me get the plates, Mom.
With which arm? I don't mind, honey. All grown up and they still depend on me. I wouldn't have it any other way. You know what I wished for out there? That I'll always be as independent as I am today, and that I never leave a burden to those kids. I know what funerals cost. That's why I got life insurance from Colonial Penn.
Now is the best time to call Colonial Penn. Because benefits are based on your age, the amount of coverage you can get will never be higher. Plus, your acceptance is guaranteed. If you're 50 or older, you cannot be turned down regardless of your health. It's affordable. Your coverage costs just $6.95 a month per unit. What's more, that rate will never go up, and your benefit never decreases. So call now.
Call 1-800-643-5995 to receive your free information in the mail. That number again is 1-800-643-5995.
Buick, official car of the PGA Tour, launches the season with an extra $500 golf bonus cash. Now get $3,500 total cash back on Century, best premium midsize car and initial quality. On LeSabre, best full-size car. Or choose 0 APR for 5 years and still get $500 golf bonus. But you've got to hurry. Golf bonus ends February 28th. See your Tennessee Buick dealer.
Now, from East Tennessee's sports leader, this is WVLT Volunteer TV Sports Overtime with Rick Russo and the entire WVLT Volunteer TV Sports Overtime team.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Overtime. We're about to put things into overdrive. I'm Eric Waddell.
And I'm Rick Russo. Yeah, coming up the week's first wreck at Daytona and high school basketball action. But we begin with your Tennessee Lady Vols. And yeah, the Lady Vols won tonight's ball game, but you got to hand it to TCU. The Lady Frogs came to play and made Coach Summit's team work for it. The fans, well, they may have thought UT would roll over the Lady Frogs, and early on it looked like it. Tennessee scoring the first 11 points. Carol Lawson with the jump shot there from the baseline. But here comes TCU. Nikki Newton gets loose inside, and the Lady Frogs show some life. How about UT's Shauna Zolman, the freshman, playing well with the three-pointer right there. Nice touch. But right before the half, a big three from Ebony Shaw cut the Lady Vol lead. Listen to this, to 41-40, and Pat cannot believe it. But the Lady Vols get sharper in the second. Gwen Jackson goes inside and gets 2 of her 14 points. The Lady Vols avoid the nail-biter, Brittany. After good defense, it's Carol Lawson pulling up on the break. She leads the way with 20 points. The final tonight, 86-72. Tennessee now 21-3 overall. Afterwards, a tip of the hat by Coach Summit for TCU.
You know, certainly they were inspired to play against us tonight, but I don't want to lose sight of our ability in the second half to keep our distance, answer their runs, and maintain our lead.
You know, the Tennessee men, meanwhile, will try to carry their momentum for their win Saturday over Georgia into tomorrow night's contest at Arkansas. You know, the Vols are in Fayetteville tomorrow night, and there's only one place to see the game right here on Volunteer TV with the tip-off set for 8 o'clock. Again, the Big Orange trying to keep building towards a possible postseason.
I think we still got some room to improve. You know, I hope we haven't peaked out yet, topped out, and we're still starting our decline. I hope we still got a lot more things to improve on, so by the end of March or end of February, we can be playing our best ball and be peaking right then. So.
Well, the racing now in a wreck today during practice for Sunday's 500, one which leaves a few teams scrambling for backup cars. Rookie Jack Sprague riding between Mike Skinner and Steve Park suddenly banged off Park. He then slid down the banking into Skinner and got sideways. Jeff Burton and Elliott Sadler then drove into the wreckage. Restrictor plate racing continues to haunt these drivers who fear the worst.
We're going to have a big one. I'll guarantee it.
I don't know why it can't get ugly on Sunday. I think it will, too. You know, I'm not concerned about the way our car's going to handle. I hope everybody drives a good, smart race on Sunday. But with only running 35 laps on fuel and keeping fresh tires on it, I don't think it's going to let the car separate.
Not part of today's melee, former Winston Cup champ Bill Elliott.
Our Kelly Klein spent some time at the track today with NASCAR's most popular driver, who's found a new life with Dodge and team owner Ray Evernham.
Just when Bill Elliott appeared to be on the last lap of his career, Ray Evernham came along and changed all of that.
Well, I guess if Ray hadn't came along, I'd probably be in retirement land, because I don't know of any opportunity that would have been as good as what he's brought to the table.
Here at Daytona, Bill has experienced huge success over the years. This Georgia boy has 4 wins on this track, including 2 Daytona 500s.
All the excitement that finally builds by the time you get to the Daytona 500, that, you know, it's always a special place and a special start to the season.
Bill has finished 13th and 15th in the points the last 2 years with Ray Evernham. Now the idea is for this team to send him off on top.
One of my big goals and priority is to get him back up on the stage in New York and have him, you know, as his career is certainly in its twilight, to finish on a high note.
In Daytona, I'm Kelly Klein with WVLT Volunteer TV Sports Overtime.
Thanks, Kelly. Let's go to football. New head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. Oregon State's Dennis Erickson has been hired to replace Steve Mariucci in Niner land. This is Erickson's second stint in the NFL. Of course, his first go-around wasn't too successful. That, of course, was Seattle. But he did win a national championship, as you know, at the University of Miami.
That he did. Well, you know, a lot of folks think Kentucky can win a national championship in basketball this year. Hey, we're talking cats and dogs next in Sports Overtime.
When you see news happen, we want to know. Call the WVLT newsroom at 450-8880 or dial *VOL for a free call from your Sprint PCS phone.
The most powerful line of pickups in the world is GMC Sierra. Redesigned for 2003 with over 40 new features, available quadra-steer, and a whole new look that leaves the competition speechless. Now get $2,500 cash back or 0% APR financing on the 2003 GMC Sierra. Upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
You and your family just can't sit down at the all-new Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. WVLT Volunteer TV invites viewers to win a chance to be a guest clown in the greatest show on earth. Just keep watching WVLT Volunteer TV News at noon to answer circus trivia for your chance to win. Tickets are on sale now at the box office and Tickets Unlimited outlets. There's no other show like it. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, playing the Knoxville Civic Coliseum March 5th through 9th.
Meet Kim. Kim and her husband are expecting soon, and the Real Yellow Pages from Bell South will really help her out. The redesigned directory has color-coded tabs, bolder graphics, and helpful idea guides that will make it super easy to find what she needs. The Real Yellow Pages will help Kim out now and in the near future, because they've certainly been helpful in the recent past. The Real Yellow Pages from Bell South. And look on the cover for your chance to win $1 million shopping spree and more.
Run one of the great race traditions of East Tennessee, the Knoxville Track Club's 15th annual Strawberry Plains Half Marathon and 10K road race kicks off Saturday morning, February 15th at 9. After the race, stick around for a t-shirt, refreshments, grand prize drawing, and more. The race is sponsored by Coca-Cola, Powerade, Tennessee Sports Medicine, and WVLT Volunteer TV. Pick up an entry form at Runner's Market or call KTC at 673-8020. Run with us Saturday, February 15th.
We knew we had to make the new Accord more comfortable and more stylish. Why else would you part with your old one? The all-new 2003 Accord from Honda. Now you can lease a 2003 Accord LX sedan for $239 a month for 36 months.
Welcome back to Sports Overtime. Rick, you want to talk a little basketball?
How about we do that? Georgia, no doubt, still reeling from the loss to Tennessee, facing the unenviable task of playing at Rupp tonight. The Cats sporting their new #3 national ranking. UGA's Damian Wilkins not phased. A nice baseline move. Kissing it off the glass. How about Jules Kamara of Kentucky back at the other end? The baseline, Jay. Kentucky starting to pull away. And Tubby Smith would like it. The Cats with the steal. Keith Bogans at the other end with the soft slam. And then back the other way in the second half, Gerald Fitch from way downtown. Tonight, the Cats rule, the Dogs drool. Your final 87-67 UK.
And from the drool, we go to school. Hardwood action, Anderson County hosting Kingston. Of course, this one for first place in their division. Yellow Jackets take the lead into the fourth. Matt Poole, nice work there. Let's go to Anderson County action. In the fourth quarter, they would rally. Thomas Sharp, he would look so. AC would win by 3, 59-56, locking up District 2A. Locking up the lead, excuse me. Sellout crowd in Panther Country tonight. They were taking on Clinton boys action. Tyler Roberts gets the twine-burning Powell up big early in this one. Clinton, though, they would bowl back into it, though. Jarrell Beeman, he scores it and gets the three-point play the old-fashioned way. But Drew Ogan and Powell keeps control of their own district fate in 3 AAA, holding off Clinton 49-47. Let's go to the ladies' action. Dragons, Panthers at Powell tonight. Lady Dragons just could not contain Powell's inside game. Kristen Ryan using the glass. And now the Lady Panthers cruising, so to speak, driving, actually. Beth Reed, nice work. 71-38. Powell gets the big win.
To the doghouse for Elston East and Bearden. Bearden down and trying to get back in it at home. 6'6" junior Jeremy Holiday follows his miss. Later, it's senior Gerald Hodo with a nice move and bucket. That is sweet right there. But too little too late for Bearden. The Roadrunners hit their free throws down the stretch and win it 62-48 on the road.
And last but certainly not least, the state of Tennessee now is home to the first women's coach of a Division I basketball men's program. And no, it's not Pat. Making history on Thursday will be Tennessee State Athletics Director Teresa Phillips. Now, Phillips, seen here in practice day in Nashville, will fill the acting coaching slot for Hosea Lewis against Austin Peay on Thursday. Now, Lewis was suspended for 1 game after 19 players were ejected in a bench-clearing brawl in last night's contest with Eastern Kentucky. Now, Phillips, of course, was TSU's women's coach from '89 through 2000, so she obviously knows a little bit about what it takes to win on the floor.
How about that? Going to be interesting to see if the guys respond to her. I hope they do. We appreciate you responding to us and hope to see you again tomorrow night. So long, everybody.
East Tennessee. Thanks for watching WVLT Volunteer TV News Night Watch, taking action for you.
Closed captioning provided by Welchel May and Associates.
Welchel May and Associates are here to help. Call us to receive our free nursing home brochure. That phone call's free, the advice is free, so what have you got to lose?